Hello, second graders. Today we are going to start our first lesson in Chapter 5. Chapter 5 is on place value, and this first lesson is on the hundreds. So our essential question that we are going to be focusing on throughout this chapter is how can I use place value? So how can I use place value to help me in math? Now today, I'm going to do a little introduction video and maybe a little review video on place value. So we are going to watch this guy, you guys like him, his name is Robo. And we're going to be talking about place value and how you can group tens to make hundreds.
Hey kids, the number one here again. Today we're going to talk about the ones place, the tens place, and the hundreds place. I have some straws that I put, well, they were over here. Now where could they be? Have you seen any straws? Uh-oh. Wow, look how many straws there are. How am I going to count them all? This is going to take a long time. How can I make counting go faster? Well, it looks like these are in bundles. A bundle is a group of objects or items put together. Let's count how many is in each bundle. In this bundle, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like all of these bundles have 10 straws in each. Having these in bundles of tens will make it much easier to count than just by counting by ones. We have some here that are not in bundles, and we need to put them into bundles. Let's go ahead and put them into bundles. I will start counting, and you tell me when I need to stop to put them into bundles of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Huh? What did you say? Oh, I see you told me that I have enough for a bundle. Great job. Thank you for your help. Now if we look over here, I have 12 straws. Do I have enough to make a bundle of 10? Let's count out a bundle of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great job. We still have 2 more though, right over here. Is this enough to make a bundle of 10? No, it is not enough to make a bundle of 10. There are only 2 here, and to make a bundle of 10, we would need 10 straws. Counting all of the straws is much easier now that they are in bundles of 10. Whenever we put any amount of items into groups, it becomes easier to work with. Let me show you what I mean. If I wanted to count all of these straws, it would take a long time to do it one by one. But if I use my knowledge of grouping, I can count them much faster. Let's practice. We know that these 3 groups are in bundles of 10. That means we can count by tens. We have 10, 20, 30. We have 30 straws, which is in the tens place. Now let's count the remaining straws in the ones place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What does 30 plus 6 equal? If you said 36, you are correct. Let's try another. Let's count 85 straws. To do this, we first need to get the tens column. Which number is in the tens column? Right, it is 80. How many bundles of 10 do we need to get 80? If you said 8, then you are correct. We need 8 groups of 10 to get 80. Now on to the ones column. We need 5 ones or 5 single straws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have 85 straws, and we did that very quickly. Good job. We have 8 groups of 10 and 5 ones to make 85. Why don't we try one last one? This one involves using the hundreds place. The number of straws we want to have is 104 straws. Let's start at the left and work our way to the right. In the hundreds column, we have the 1, which means we need 100 straws for this column. We do not have bundles of 100 straws, so we will have to use the bundles of 10 straws to make up 100. How many bundles of 10 do we need to make 100? If you said 10, you are correct. Now let's count them together. We have 10, 20, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. We now have 100 straws. Now let's look at the tens column. There is a 0 there, so we do not need to add any more groups of 10. So let's move on to the ones column. What number do we have here? How many straws in the ones place do you think we need? If you said 4, you are correct. We need to add 1, 2, 3, 4 straws. So how many straws do we have in total? We have 104 straws. Great job! You guys can learn to group anything together to help you count. So try this at home. Have fun, and we'll see you next time.
All right, we'll watch Robo tomorrow again, but today for your assignment, you need to find lesson 1, which is on the hundreds. Would you please get that out? And once you have it out, write your name nice and neat at the top, please. Now, Mrs. Murphy's gonna make hers really big so you can see it. And it says, this is like our hundreds chart. And you guys have been working on your number scrolls since the beginning of 2nd grade. So I know you guys know the pattern, you see the pattern when we write our numbers, but I'm just gonna review it really quickly. So down below, the directions say to color each stamp yellow and count the steps by ones. So Mrs. Murphy's gonna change the directions a little bit. I want you to first take your pencil. So Mrs. Murphy is gonna take her black, and I'm gonna write my numbers to 100. So I'm just gonna practice writing my numbers to 100 first. And as I write, I want you to remember that there is a pattern when we go down our columns. Okay, so for example, our pattern going down our tens column is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, now you can fill in the chart as you like, but remember, if you want to, you can always see the pattern as these are your ones way over here of ones going down, twos is going here, oops, that wasn't a very good two. Let's fix that. And so forth, okay? Now this is like my zeros row, this is my teens row or my ones row. So everyone is gonna have a 1 in front of it, okay? And then this is my, next row is my 20s row. So everyone's gonna have a 2 in front of it, okay? So I would like you to go ahead right now and start writing your numbers to 100. And Mrs. Murphy's gonna finish also, but I know you probably can't see mine. But I want to show you what it should look like when you get done with it. And if you need to pause the video to work, go right ahead. And I probably should say while Mrs. Murphy's writing, yesterday Briley and Aria both made their number scroll to 2000. They're the first ones to write their numbers all the way to 2000. Okay, so keep writing. This might take you a while, but you can do it. You might need a pause and keep going, but just keep working. This is great practice. And the more you do it, the faster you get. Oh. I made a mistake, but I fixed it. If you make a mistake, just use your eraser. Okay, now, I made mine to 100. Pause the video if you need to catch up. When you get to 100, the next direction says to take your yellow crayon and you're going to color all of the ones. So this whole hundreds chart, the numbers that you wrote should be colored over in yellow. So that's why Miss Murphy wanted to have you write with pencil, is because you can't do crayon and then write over with pencil. It just doesn't work. It's too waxy. So please color over all of your numbers and try to color them as nice and neat as you can. But as you can see, Mrs. Murphy's isn't perfect, just because we don't need to take a lot of time to make it perfect. I'm almost there. If you need to pause the video and work on yours and then play it once you're done, go right ahead. Okay, oofta. So write your numbers with a pencil, color them yellow second. The next direction says circle the groups of 10 in green to show the tens. So we know that over here is our tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. All of those on the far right are going to be green. Now the last one says circle 100 stamps in red to show 100. So down here, you are going to circle this 100 stamp, also red, to show that that is 100. Okay, pause the video if you need to catch up. If you are done with this page, let's move on to the next page. On the next page, at the top, the guided practice says, if you have 100 ones, that equals 10 tens. So 100 ones is 10 tens, or that equals 100. So 100 cubes equals 10 sticks, and 10 sticks equals 1 flat, which is 100. Now, if you have 200s, that is equal to 20 tens, and then 200 ones. So as you can see, guys, 100 is 10 tens, we add a 0, and it's 100 ones, we add a 0 there. So as you can see, if we use our base 10 blocks, we just add zeros to it. Now, down here, we're going to have to write how many hundreds, tens, and ones are there. So on the first one, I know that there is 100 here. So if you look at this, this is 100 flat. So then I'm going to put that is worth 100. Now, how many tens is that? Well, I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. That is 10 of them. And how many little cubes is that? Well, we know that's 100 ones. Okay, now looking at the next one. We have 1, 2, 3, 300s, which is equal to now 30 tens. All we do is add the 0, which is equal to 300 ones. So we add 2 zeros. So you can see the pattern when we go from hundreds to tens to ones. Now down below, we're going to have to figure out if we have 500 ones, well, how many tens is that? Well, if 100 has 10, 500 would have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 of them. And then for my hundreds, it'd be 500. I would just add a 0. Now, if I have 600 ones, well, that'd be 60 tens, because it'd be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 tens. I'm sorry. Yeah, 60 tens to get to 600 ones. And then that would be 6 hundredths. So I have 2 zeros, I go down to 1 0, and I go down to no zeros. Okay? All right, now, the next page is going to be a practice for you. So the next page, the independent practice, I want you to practice this. Before we do the independent practice, I want us to do the problem solving, okay? Now, on number 14, it says Sarah has a collection of coins. She puts them in 30 piles of 10. How many hundreds does she have? So she has 30 piles of 10. Hoofda. And I know there's 10 coins. 30 piles of 10. So let me think about this. I'm going to show you how we can think of this. All right, so she has 30 piles of 10. So we could go do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Now, how many hundreds does she have? So if this is 1, this would be 100. And then she has another one, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This would be another 100. So we got 100, 200. And if I do another pile, this would be another 100. So this is 10 piles of 10. This is another 10 piles of 10. And this is a third pile of 10. So if I got 10, 20, 30 piles of 10, that's equal to 300. So I got 10 in each pile, and I got 10 piles of 10, 10 piles of 10, 10 piles of 10, and that's 10, I should say 100, 200, and 300. So you could draw it out. Mrs. Murphy could have also thought of, well, 10 piles is 100. Another 10 piles is another 100, that's 20. And another 10 piles is another 100. I'm sorry, another 10 piles is another 100, so that is 300. So you could have thought of it that way. Okay, number 15. It says, Kenny places his rocks in a collection of 20, groups of 10. How many ones does he have? So if I have 20 groups of 10, I can think of it this way. 20 groups of 10. So if I have one group of 10, pretend this is one group of 10, that would be 100. And if I have another group of 10, that would be another 100. So then I should have 200 ones. Because this would be 100 and 100 is 200. And this is the first group. And this is what the second group. And each group has 10 of them in there. Okay? All right. Now, down at the bottom, we're going to cross off the brain builders, 16, and write the math. You do not need to worry about the brain builder. But what you need to do now is go back to your independent practice, and you need to complete this page. Now, when you get done with this, you'll hand this page in, and then you also have IXL to do today, and I will post another video for IXL.